We will look at a new experiment on IC engine. This basically is a Honda GX160 engine. This is a 4-cylinder single stroke engine with a compression ratio of 9:1 and a capacity of 163 cc, which generates around 3.5 kilowatt at 3500 rpm. So you can see this is the engine, basically Honda. This is the lever for starting the engine. Okay, this is the carburetor and this is the airbox blue. From the airbox the air comes to the carburetor. Here the air fuel mixture goes into the engine. This is the fuel tank what we have got, and the fuel tank by gravity it comes to the carburetor. And this engine is coupled to a single phase brushless alternator which produces again 3.5 kVA or 3.2 kilowatt, and this electrical energy whatever is produced, it is sent to the load. Here you can see there are resistance load, and to cool that resistance load you have got a fan in the front. So the electrical energy is dissipated in the form of heat. So now this is the control panel. In the control panel you can see very simple it is. Generator, whatever power it is generating, it is V into I, voltage into current, and this is RPM tachometer for the engine, and there is a temperature indicator, and this is a rotary channel selector to select the various temperatures. This is a fuel tank and the fuel comes here, this burette, and you have got a fuel distributor so that you can take the fuel from here to this burette and then use it for engine, and thus measure the time taken to consume 10 cc of fuel. Similarly, this is a manometer, water tube manometer, and this air box is connected to the manometer so that you can measure the amount of air consumed by the engine. These yellow ones are thermocouples. So this is air inlet temperature and this will give the exhaust gas temperature. So this is a very simple setup again. Single cylinder 4-stroke petrol engine with a compression ratio of 9:1, generating around 3.5 kilowatt. This is the airbox. This is used to measure the flow of air and in conjunction with the manometer. So this is a fuel tank and you have got a burette here. This is used to measure the amount of fuel consumed to say amount of time used to consume 10 cc of fuel. And these are the selector switch. Each is of almost 0.5 kilowatt. So you have got 6. So 0.5, 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3. So you can go for 3 kilowatt rate loading. These electrical loads you can see here. Backside you can see the electrical resistance are visible there. Backside electrical resistance are available. And here in the front you have got the cooling fan to dissipate the air to the ambient conditions. So this is a simple setup of the engine. This entire testing is mounted on anti-vibration pads so that it reduces. It is not mounted permanently, it can be shifted. Okay. So this is about the engine setup. Now we will see how we operate and what all things we will going to find out. So first you do the electrical connections. Here backside to the control panel, we are connecting the electrical connections. So this is all on. Put the fuel in the fuel tank, okay, and then as I said, you got a lever to pull and start the engine. You start the engine and then allow the engine to stabilize. Okay. So basically this experiment we do at a constant RPM, say 3000 RPM. Then what we will do, after the engine stabilizes, we will take readings at no load. There is no loading. So for no load, what is the current and voltage generated by the alternator, and what are the temperatures, various temperatures, as well as the manometer reading and the fuel reading. Fuel reading, as I said, we will take for 10 cc consumption of time in seconds for 10 cc consumption of petrol. After that, suppose I want to get 3 readings, then I will load these 2 electrical resistances So it is 1 kilowatt. Allow the engine to stabilize, and then again we have to take the readings. Time required to consume 10 cc of petrol. So we can see when it is idling, the time was more, but when the engine is loaded, the time will reduce. So faster consumption of fuel will take place, and you can see the manometer reading also will change, and you can measure the amount of air getting into the cylinder. So this is for air measurement, manometer, and here it is for fuel measurement. And the output whatever is generated from the brushless alternator is given in form of current and voltage. Okay. And to measure the temperatures, you have got thermocouples and this selector switch is there, so that you can measure the. Here we are only measuring two temperatures, that air inlet and exhaust temperature, because this engine is a air cooled engine. You please see here, it is not a water cooled engine, it is a simple air cooled engine with fins, because it's a small like 160cc bike engine. Similar kind of engine it is for small engine application. So this is all about the 4-stroke single cylinder engine. Now we will go to the lab and again see what are the readings calculations we take. We will come to the tabular column and the calculations. This is a 4-stroke petrol engine. Again, you can see the serial number. We will take some 3-4 readings so that we can plot various graphs. Serial number, load. As I said, we will start with no load. We can take 1 kilowatt, 2 kilowatt, 3 kilowatt. So we get 4 readings. Then voltage V and current I. This is the output of the alternator. What the alternator generated. Now to measure the airflow rate, we have got the manometer limbs H1 and H2. Two limbs are there for the manometer. And HW is difference between H1 and minus H2. So this will give the manometer reading. And this last one is for time consumed to collect 10 cc of to consume, not collect, it is to consume 10 cc of fuel by the engine. Now first we will see the mass of fuel consumed. So suppose X is 10 cc of fuel is consumed. So if we want to convert into kg, I divided by 1000 and multiply the specific gravity, that is 735. Okay, and divided by the time taken. From the time taken, you will get the fuel mass of fuel consumed in kg per second. Okay, this is in the seconds. Into specific gravity divided by 1000, you get it to kg. Divided by time, you get mass of fuel consumed in kg per second. Next is heat input. What is the heat input? Q is equal to mass of fuel into calorific value. Calorific value of petrol is around 45 megajoules for 45,000 kilojoules per kg. This you will get in kilowatt. Then brake power. What is brake power generated? Brake power generated is nothing but voltage into current, V into I, divided by 1000. So 1000 is we will convert it to kilowatt into the generator efficiency. So generator efficiency can be taken on 90% and you will get the brake power. Then there is something called specific fuel consumption. Specific fuel consumption means to generate 1 kilowatt of energy, what is the amount of fuel consumed? Okay, so this is mass of fuel into 3600 divided by BP. So these units are kg of fuel per kilowatt for 1 hour. Actually, this is a very good term, SFC, wherein you can compare any sort of engine, small engine to big engine, because the SFC will be known. That is to generate 1 kilowatt for 1 hour, what is the amount of fuel consumed. Secondly, then there are some efficiencies like brake thermal efficiency. Brake thermal efficiency is equal to 3600 divided by SFC into CV into 100. Brake power will be. This is BP. Here you will get BP, brake power divided by SFC into CV. This is brake thermal efficiency. Then head of air, what is the amount of air is? Head of air is equal to head in water column into density of water, that is 1000 kg per meter cube, divided by density of air. Density of air will be around 1.2 to 1.3 kg per meter cube. Then what is volumetric efficiency? The piston is moving in the cylinder. So volumetric efficiency is nothing but QA by Q theoretical. Means actual volume of air taken divided by theoretical volume of air taken. So this will be less, almost 85% volumetric efficiency will be there. And this QA, actually you can calculate by CD, coefficient of discharge into area into root of 2 into GH. And Q theoretical is equal to, that is the dimensions of the cylinder, that is pi by 4 into d square into L into N RPM divided by 60 into 2, because it is a 4-stroke engine. Okay, these are very simple calculations. Again, you can see from this petrol engine we can calculate the heat input, we calculate the brake power, we calculate the SFC, we calculate the brake thermal efficiency. Brake thermal efficiency is nothing but BP divided by that output divided by input. Brake thermal efficiency means our output is BP, input is mass of fuel into CV. Okay. Then we calculate the amount of air consumed, we find out the volumetric efficiency. So you can find out brake thermal efficiency and volumetric efficiency. Here we are not able to find out the indicated power. If you can find out the indicated power also, and you know the brake power, then brake power divided by indicated power will give the mechanical efficiency. So you can calculate mechanical efficiency, brake thermal efficiency, and if you calculate indicated power, then you can calculate also indicated thermal efficiency. And lastly, you can calculate the volumetric efficiency. Okay, very simple experiment. Thank you.